Hey guys, I know I'm scruffy and looking silly, but I had some ideas about how we might be able to get costs down on new comic books. So if you're interested in these ideas, stick around, stay tuned, and we'll talk about it.
Are you ready for this sickness? Let's get into it.
So thanks for tuning in, guys. I know I'm looking silly, but whatever, I'm feeling silly, and I just want to talk. I like talking about stuff just kind of on the top of my head. There's been a lot of discussions about the price of comics going up, and it's just ridiculous. And there's a couple ways to look at it. I mean, like the cost of living's gone up as well as minimum wage, so no one's really benefiting, you know. But comics and stuff that we like are going up too. Now, probably the worst abuser of it's Marvel. Like if you look and see how many books Marvel's got coming out, and it's this constant amount of books, and that's cool. Okay, it's great for us, but the prices are going up. Now, one thing I've noticed is they turned to shit paper. About a year ago, all of a sudden there was this like shitty paper, and you can never get. I mean, you can get high grade books, and that's not what this topic's about. But the paper sucks. Now, if you look at independent books, their paper's fire, dude. Sniffs good. It's high quality, majority of it, and they've still got their prices at $4. You know, $3.99 for a book. So why is that? Well, we all know the answer to that. Marvel's greedy. And they're just they know that their movies are doing so well that they can sell more books, right? So, and they can raise their price and they can dump their paper. Now, I want to mention something else about DC. So DC's playing the game a little bit. Their regular copies are okay. The paper's okay. But then now they're doing like the cardstock and the acetate, and those are $1 more. So if you want like a regular book, $4. But if you want that nicer art or nicer cover or nicer paper, it's $5 or $6, you know? So they're playing the game in their own way. But one thing that DC is not guilty of is a massive amount of variance. Most of the time they have a regular cover and a variant. So props to them, okay? And they're still up there, but you basically can still get a book for like $4. But Marvel, you know, $4.99, $5.99, $6. I know a lot of them. We can't get away from the number ones. Number ones are always going to be more. They're going to put more pages in there. They're going to charge more, okay? And the double-sized anniversary issues, those are always expensive. You know, $10, $8. It just depends. They play a game, and then it drops back down or goes up, down, whatever. The problem is the prices are rising, and people are getting pissed off. And a lot of people are just going straight digital. You know, I'm not trying to, from what I've heard, Comics Explain, and he's a big channel. You know, he does this comic book. He's so brilliant in regard. He has more knowledge than anybody. But I think he's full digital. And whether he affects the market or not, in regard to that, like switching people to digital, I don't care. But, I still think you should invest in comics because this is a collector's hobby. And there's value there, depending on what you're getting. But it's almost like by raising the prices, they're going to push us to digital. And then, not all of us, but definitely the new breed, the young kids, they're collectors in a different way. And they're mostly gamers and stuff like that. But again, I'm going off topic, and I like to do that. But I have an idea, okay? I have an idea. Here's the main problem, okay? If we want to all stand up and say, we're not buying another comic book from you, Marvel, right? We are going to break a comic book store. Let's just say this became some huge movement, okay? And no one bought Marvel. The person that's going to get hurt the most initially is the comic book store. So we don't want to hurt them because that's where we get our comics. Now, I know a lot of you that watch this channel don't have access to comic book stores, but you order online, and that's a reason why you watch me, because I do it early enough that you can pre-order and hopefully save some money, right? A lot of people are really far away from comic book stores, stuff like that, but a lot of you aren't. So if we just ban Marvel, okay, and stop buying Marvel, or even DC or something in that area of a high-priced comic, it's going to hurt the comic book store, and they'll probably, I mean, they're barely making it, you know, I think, depending on the store itself. So I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think what's right is to ban a store. So I've been really, really thinking about it from multiple views, as a speculator and as an investor and stuff like that. On the one end, Marvel keeps producing the same stuff. Now, the game is now, there's multiple first appearances of new stuff all the time, okay? It's everywhere. Well, you know, you look, every week there's like 8 appearances of new stupid characters. You might get 1 or 2 good ones a year that will last. But Marvel movies and stuff like that, they keep it going because we're specking on older books, okay? I'm looking at this in a speculation way first to get to my main point, okay? Okay, but what I've noticed, and I touched on this a little bit, but this video is directly about comic book prices and how we might be able to solve it as a group, okay? It's just an idea. But what I've noticed is independent comics are getting picked up left and right before they're being even put out on a market. You're seeing it all over the place, all these ideas and movies. The movie industry and the TV show industry and the streaming industry are understanding that there's some great stories out there, you know, Bloodshot. I mean, I could go on and on of different stuff that's on Netflix or coming out in the movies that are based off of indies, okay? So there's a lot of great independent books out there now. It's good to spec on independent books. Now, I'm talking about speculation and investing just for a second so I can get back to the point where I think we might be able to make something happen. It's not a bad idea for us to be buying independent books, new number ones, stuff like that. If you're interested in reading comics and you like stories, they have the best stories. What they also have is good paper and lower prices. Okay? So my thought is this. I'm going to put this out there and I'm going to expand on it a little bit so we understand on how we might be able to do this. If we start buying more independents and less Marvel. Now, this is very, very difficult for me, guys. I spend $100 to $150 a week at a comic book store. And sometimes worse, because I love covers and stuff like that. But, you know, I collect Spider-Man and I collect Batman and stuff. So I get at least one regular and one variant cover. And then if there's a nice hot cover I like of some book that I'll never read or whatever from Marvel or stuff like that, I buy it. So this is bad on me because I'm part of the problem, okay? So what I was thinking is, of course, I buy independents too. If we start investing a little bit more into indies and not as much into Marvel, because I think DC's on the verge are still doing okay. Not picking up that extra cover or not picking up that extra copy or whatever. And just let's, for instance, say we only get the keys every week from Marvel, okay? I know you guys have pull runs, and of course, keep that. But you and I all know that we're spending a lot of extra money, at least I am. I have a sneeze coming. Sorry. On extra books that we don't need. Dude, I constantly have to liquidate my personal collection because I'm spending a bunch. It has to do with the channel as well and my ridiculous buying sprees that we all have. But the first thing I think we might consider is starting to invest in indie comics that have better paper and are lower costs. New books coming out, stories that we enjoy, ones that maybe I spec on. I'm not trying you to say, listen to me, but ones you hear about could be hot, wherever you want. I mean, if you want to try new stories and stuff. If we start taking a little money from Marvel, on those extra books that we're buying for no damn reason and put it into indies, okay, Marvel will see the difference. I think they'll see an effect. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how many people we do that with, okay? So it's just an idea. But by doing this, the Diamond in the industry or whoever will start noticing, look, they're ordering more independents and they're lowering their Marvel pickups for pre-order. What's going on, you know? So that would be the first step. Do not buying, like if we all said, okay, we're not buying any comic books, okay? It would hurt comic book stores. Now, the second step of this process, now, real quick, if we start buying more indies and at a lower price, hopefully that won't drive up indie price at the store, but Marvel should realize eventually they're losing money, and they'll know they're losing it to independent comics, independent publishers. Then we might be able to start the topic of, look, we're doing this. We get all the comic book stores. I don't know how, okay? But we get all the comic book stores to be in agreement. Look, we are demanding you to drop the price back down to a level playing field with all the rest and bring your either bring better paper back and lower your price because Marvel has crappy paper now. You're getting error. There's so many different deals. If we can convince everyone to come together and not just destroy them, but convince them to bring better paper back and to drop the price down $1 or whatever and keep it stable for a while, we might, as a group, as a community, comic book stores, buyers, etc., might be able to make a change in the price of comics. I don't know. Look, I don't know. I am just trying to do something to help lower the price of the books that are being mass-produced and shoved down our face with lower paper quality. And we love Marvel. I'm guilty. Look around, you know. And of course, there's DC stuff too. But, you know, we love those books. But there's got to be a way that we can show a drop in sales for Marvel and an increase in sales for indies. And I think that will raise some alarms with Marvel because they don't care. They're fine. Even if they lose money, they're fine. But when they start noticing a drop in orders, like, oh, man, they were ordering 20 copies of X-Men, and now they're only ordering 12. Or, you know, when you start hitting the books that aren't low print as in like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, stuff like that, and you start hitting Spider-Man, and you start hitting, Wolverine or whatever the big books are that there's always a million of and everyone can expect there to be one in the store. When those numbers start to drop, they might think, what is going on? They'll do some investigating. They'll see, look, those independent people that having these new books, better paper, new stories, and they're charging less are selling more. Isn't that weird? I wonder why. What can we do to fix it? And most likely, we might see a drop in price. Most likely nothing's going to happen, you guys, to be honest, but we got to try something. So what I could foresee, though, is if we really get together and we band together with the comic book stores so that they don't fail, okay? That's the most important thing, keeping a comic book store alive because we need them and because of the love of our hobby, right? And we help them and say, look, once this starts to take effect and things start to, I think as a comic book store and the customers, we should then maybe start something like saying, look, we're going to slow our orders down on these books and start buying from other publishers and build them up because we appreciate that they have better paper and a lower price. And their stories are better. They're not beat to death stories that you keep every 100 issues, we kind of get dipped right back into it. They're new, and there's good reason to buy indies. That's not what this video is about. But damn it, if I'm not seeing more and more independent books getting picked up. Marvel's, it's not new books that Marvel movies are showing. They're old keys. And you can invest in Marvel keys all you want. That's great. Do that all day. DC keys, whatever. Older books, that's fine. But the new books are the problem. And the new books, the higher the prices go, the more people are going to digital. And what that will mean is there won't be any more books in the store. I'm not talking about a comic book crash. I don't expect it anytime soon. But if we want to try to get our heads and hands around this increase in price, I think maybe this is an option. Start to hurt their pocketbooks. Start to hurt Marvel's pocketbooks. Just a little by little. And because we're all going to buy Marvel, but those extra books that we buy, maybe we should. And you know what? If you guys agree and you want to start doing that, and maybe talk to your comic book stores about it, stuff like this, I vow to try to, cut my purchasing down to maybe $30 less, okay? I'll do my best to show you. But I've already shown you how my love of independence, and you already know I'm a crazy person. I buy almost everything. So I'll try to lower it down to only books that matter, and maybe one copy on my pull list from Marvel or DC instead of two. I think anything counts. I don't want to cause a huge disruption in the comic book industry, okay? But I think it's a valid point that the prices are absolutely ridiculous, and we can do something about it. But we have to do it hand in hand with the comic book store to make sure that they are still healthy, okay? So let me know what you think about this topic in the comments, and maybe we can start something here that can help us in our pocketbooks and bring Marvel down to reality and whoever else is having the problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was just something off the top of my head, and I hope it means something, or hit something, click something, make, comment, share the video to your comic book friends and groups and Insta and whatever, and let's see if we can't maybe start something. I don't know what to call it, but let me know your thoughts. You can check out this next video next, probably about me buying a bunch of variants or something. No, I'm just joking. But I hope that maybe this started some curiosity of ways that we can benefit ourselves as buyers in this market where prices are starting to go up, and maybe even make some money by getting on some indie spec and actually enjoying a read, an actual story that's new and exciting to us, and maybe it'll turn into a TV show and we'll make some money. Who knows? But we'll see you next time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to use any of these coupon codes, go ahead. It's all there for you to use and abuse. Please check out this sick video next. And again, please hit that like button, throw a comment down, and please subscribe. Love you guys. Stay sick. See you later.